Howdy Hollywood! Here I am with my friend Mary Angel.
Hey Texas, how are you?
So I'm talking about my book today with my friend Mary Angel. We've been friends for a long, long time. And usually I start my shows with, I'm a gal from Big D, grew up here happily, howdy Hollywood. Mom and Dad were the best, yes I was truly blessed, howdy Hollywood. Learned a lot of songs and watched those movies. Oscar night in our house was so groovy. Learned to tap, learned to act, had some fun, that's a fact, howdy Hollywood. And there's more, there's always more.
She's always been like this.
I've always been like this.
Fun and fantastic and just I'm so blessed to be with her right now. And one of the things
I feel the same way about being with her.
Thank you.
She got voted friendliest in our class.
Yeah, and I've been like a sourpuss ever since. But anyway, what we're here today is because I'm so excited that she finished her book. She's been talking about her book for a while, and now I read it, and so I said, well, I want to talk to you in front of everybody about your book because I was so impressed. There were so many things going on, even when we were in high school together, that I didn't even know you were doing. Because we were just going about our everyday life, and you were already singing, and you were already making a name for yourself, even back then.
In my own head, yes.
Well, in your head, but apparently you were making an impact on
I had dreams, even back then.
Yeah.
The dream of being a professional singer and going to Hollywood started when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My earliest memories are about me wanting to do this. And it was such a powerful force in my life that absolutely nothing could have stopped me.
That's unbelievable. That's what you hear a lot of people when they start their ambition very, very early. And so apparently, it's almost like you visualize what your future was going to be like.
Exactly.
Even at that young age.
Yeah, and I never gave myself a chance to ever say to myself, you can't do this. Believe me, plenty of people will tell you that along the way. Well, you can't do that. And it's like, well, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm going to figure out how to do that. I'm not sure how yet, but I'm going to figure it out.
Well, what's interesting is that I have some questions here that I wanted to talk to you about the book. And one of the last questions here is, can a young audience relate to your story? Why and why not? And right now, you just told me an aspect of the book and also about your life that can be applied at any time period in anyone's life. Is the visualization, the excitement of wanting to do something. You tapped into your hidden talent, and yet you never let it go. And so even in today's world, a young person just starting off, even in high school, can read the book and be inspired like that.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter that this would happen in the 60s or 70s. It matters that what it was all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was one of my purposes in writing this book. I had two purposes to write this book. The first one was I wanted to tell what the life of a working girl singer was. I had so many people along the way as I was singing through the years that would say, is this all you do? I mean, is this a job? And I would always explain to them, yes, it is.
Because you were having too much fun.
I still am having fun. I'm still singing today. So, it's also a lesson in how, in any time of your life, you can still do what you love. And if you have a passion for it and you have the drive for it, you can still do it. So I'm still singing today, and it's something that I still enjoy. But writing the book, number one, I wanted to show people this is what a working girl singer's life is like. When you have a dream and a passion for something, you can make it happen. Sometimes you have to do things that maybe some other people might not want to do, or you might not have your talents so varied that you can keep working.
That's true.
For me, I could sing just about any type of music, country music, Broadway music, jazz tunes,
That's amazing.
pop tunes.
That's amazing.
But that kept me working longer.
I also you could go to all the different genres. Whereas
Exactly.
A lot of people just get stuck in one particular genre and
Exactly.
they aren't the versatility of it.
Exactly. So they're more limited in
Right.
that way. for me, I wasn't limited then. I might play a jazz club one week, I might do a pop club another week, I would do a studio gig. I was lucky enough to get on a gig in Texas in the 70s that allowed me to get my Screen Actors Guild and after cards.
And it's not easy to get.
It's not easy to get. And so
especially here in Dallas.
I had those when I got to Hollywood, which helped me get even better work. So, so all of those things were a reason that I wrote the book. I wanted to show young people that are starting out in this business, this is how you make it work, this is how you pay your bills, these are some ideas for you that you can have that might help you. Maybe you can start writing some songs, or maybe you can write your own shows. I do all of that, and that will allow you to get more work. The other reason I wrote the book is that everybody likes a funny story, and I found through the years, my mother was a great storyteller, and I saw how people would flock to her because she had always something funny to say, or a funny story about her life. And so I was groomed for that, and I started doing that through the years. And when I had this exciting life in Hollywood, then I had these stories about famous movie stars that I met. And I was kind of like I Love Lucy in that I was so thrilled to meet movie stars. I've always been a movie fanatic and a movie star lover. Growing up in my house here in Dallas, my mother loved the movies and my dad loved music and movies. And Oscar night was like a religious holiday in our house. It was very, very popular and fun. So the other part of my book is that I just have a lot of funny stories about meeting stars, and like I said, I got myself into some trouble sometimes, some good trouble, and that makes for funny stories.
Yeah.
And so my book is about a lot of that too. Most of my friends that have read it have told me that they get a lot of laughs with this book, and that was my intention. I wanted to keep this book uplifting and fun and positive, and to give you some laughs. I think we need that.
But see, what it is that what I'm finding is that your book is true to who you are. Because you are, your outlook on life, and I can say this because the first time I met you, we were in our teenagers, in our high school, and so you were always like, you went in full-heartedly, not full-heartedly, but fully into the drill team. You went in fully into your drama classes, into everything you did, but you had a joy of life, and you choose to see things with humor. And so many people are just the opposite. And I think that what people pick up is that they see your funny stories, but then they go, "This is so Peggy. This is so Peggy."
I've had a lot of people tell me they've read my book and they hear my voice throughout the book, and I'm so thrilled
That's how I felt.
to hear that.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying. I'm taking her everywhere with me. Everywhere I go, Mary Angel's going with me now as my spokesperson.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'd love it, because it means new adventures for me. But let's see, one more question before we move on and let you finish up here. It says, let's see, is your audience actually Hollywood or Texas?
Ooh, so the subtitle to my book is called Howdy Hollywood. The subtitle is called Music, Movie Stars, and Mischief from Texas to Tinseltown. So it is both, because I was born and raised in Texas. This is where I started my career, and I'm really thankful for that. It started at home, at school, at college, and then after that in the clubs and the studios first in Austin and in Dallas.
But there is this thing about Texas. I know that some of you might be watching this and aren't from here, because we both are born and raised here. And one thing that Dallas has always been such a can-do city. There weren't a lot of restrictions with people trying to squash you down. I mean, I'm not talking about you, because the entertainment business is a little different than other types of entrepreneurial projects. But it was a good springboard. Like somebody that starts off like actually in LA or Hollywood, I think that may have so much more competition, so much more people that are jealous, they're squashing you down, they're not giving you that oomph. But in Dallas especially, I've always felt that it's very supportive of you can do this.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, that's a great observation that you've had. And Austin, in some ways, is even better. Austin,
especially in the music scene.
Yeah, even still today, because one of our good friends, my friend Marilyn, that we also grew up with, her son is a fabulous musician in Austin, a young man, and he's part of the scene there. So I've gotten to see what that scene is even now. It's like a family in Austin, and everybody helps everybody, and everybody books everybody, and that was kind of the very beginning of my career. Not to mention that in a lot of our universities, like University of Texas and North Texas University, it is just a springboard for fabulous musicians.
And even to this day, right?
Even to this day.
It's known as the jazz capital
Absolutely.
of the United States, really,
Absolutely.
North Texas.
So I met these incredible musicians that were just starting out just like me, who went on to have huge careers. They were Leonard Cohen's band and Lyle Lovett's band, and
Didn't know that.
all these guys that I worked with, and even my husband. My husband is a great piano player, and when I met him, he had already been Al Jarreau's piano player and Lou Rawls's piano player. So I've been very, very lucky to meet these incredible players along the way who took the ride with me and showed me what to do, and were patient with me as I was learning my craft, and introduced me to everything from Earth, Wind, and Fire to Miles Davis. So my study was from all these great musicians that I got to work with.
But you had to have the talent for these musicians to want to work with you.
Yes.
Because if you didn't have the ability and the singing charisma that you do have, I think that, so it was like a union of two great musicians coming together, and that's why you were able to they helped you along the way, because you were also helping them.
Right, we all had the same level of enthusiasm, that's for sure. And this career, and I say this in my book, it is about, yes, talent, but also timing, and also what drive you have and what you're willing to do and not do in the career. And then there is a certain amount of luck involved in terms of who you meet and who's going to help you. And everybody needs a mentor. So I think that I had some great mentors along the way that helped me move forward. Plus, I want to say, because you were talking about the opportunity, when I started out, it was the 1970s, and there was a band in every restaurant in town, especially when I moved back to Dallas after college in the mid-1970s. Almost every restaurant in Dallas had a band, and I'm talking about 6 nights a week. Wow. And
I remember even here there was that Popolo's restaurant. Nora Jones used to play there all the time. I mean, before she became famous.
Yeah.
So there are very, very talented people in the area, but there were a lot of venues, and we got spoiled with so much music, and now we're craving that to come back.
Absolutely.
Do you find that that's starting to open up again for?
I think a little bit, and I think that as time goes on, it's just a matter of educating people that own these clubs and restaurants that, certain musicians can bring in business for them. And usually I do a pretty good job advertising. I can usually pack these places that we still do gigs at, and I do make a lot of effort to do that, because that's important. If you're a working musician and you're doing these clubs, they want you to bring people in, and they want people to stay and drink and eat and do all that kind of good stuff. And I was always somebody that understood the business of that as well.
Now that is very, very unusual. Yeah. I mean, most of the people that are creative, they just focus on their craft, and that's why they call them starving artists, right? Because they just sit there and the money, the business, let somebody else handle it.
Right.
But that makes you even more unique and more important for the message of the book of getting. Because even as you're speaking of the music world, I also related to the business aspect and to many things that the young people and even middle-aged people and even older people that want to start new careers is the blending of the business aspect, the blending of your talent, using people that you know, and not feeling bad about going back to people that you used to know.
Right.
To bring them up to date as to what's going on in your life. So
I mean,
think-
luckily, I love people, and
Yeah, well,
I'm a
true.
friendly person, and even still, you know, I mean, my book has been pretty successful so far in the first month that it's been out because I have a lot of friends. Thank you, friends.
Well, she's
A lot of
already
friends.
sold several hundreds.
Yeah,
so that's amazing.
You know, it's the same thing again. You have to honestly love the people that support you, and I do, and I appreciate everybody that comes to gigs and buys books and buys CDs and supports me in every way, and I honestly do love them and appreciate that because they allow me to do what I love to do. So it's
let me
it's a
tell you,
gift.
Yeah, the gift too is that we get to love you back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we love you, and we love your sense of humor and how you include us in your in your interest and not lose touch with any of us. So that makes it very special.
Well,
So
thank you.
I see that this is the beginning, and I really encourage, if you have not read her book, Howdy, Howdy Hollywood. And so if you haven't read it, you're in for a real treat.
It's
So-
on Amazon.com, and it's available as a paperback, and it's also available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. And I'll give you a little sneak peek. Right around the 4th of July week, I might have a little sale going on, so
Ooh.
watch for my stuff on Facebook. Sometimes I'm on TikTok. Sometimes I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter.
And I'm not
and-
in any of those, so
Yeah.
I admire that she's
I'm on
all.
everything. I love
Yeah.
social media, as y'all, those that know me know I do. And I'm doing a pretty fun little campaign right now with all these old movie stars that are holding my book. So I'm having,
No,
as
watch
usual,
it.
I'm having a really good time.
Well, let's have some fun with her. So let's support Peggy on the book. Get the book, or go listen to her in one of her upcoming gigs that she's got going on.
Thank you
And-
again to my friend Mary Angel. We've talked about doing a podcast together because we like each other very much.
We do.
And
And this might be
we're
the beginning
friends.
of one.
Might be just the beginning.
Right.
Wait, that's from Casablanca, isn't it?
Play
See,
it.
I know these movie quotes.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Play it
everybody.
again, Sam.
Howdy Hollywood. Howdy Hollywood.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Hooray for Hollywood. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.